Okay, I'm just going to say, going back to Hurricane Review, game one of the season, I said get ready for mediocrity because Carolina was coming together. Like, they just did not have a good game. There wasn't any hustle. And still reactionary to even suggest this and everything. I may have been wrong. This Carolina Hurricanes team has played unbelievably well basically ever since because they had another good game where they made some improvements against another team. I forget who they played second game of the season. They won another game against Pittsburgh. I didn't watch that game. Then I saw they lost to St. Louis. Beat Edmonton. Uploaded that video. Didn't wasn't able to catch the game in Calgary because I just had a very busy weekend working long hours for my job. And then they come in and they win, but they went on a 5 game road trip, 6 game road trip, won 5 games. And tonight they played really well. I finally got to see Jack Roslovich score a goal. Seemed like every time he played an iffy game is the ones I happen to be watching, and he played really well tonight. And it really does seem like the first game was just new structure to the team in terms of personnel with a lot of new faces, a lot of changed faces. So, Carolina, I may have been wrong and overreactionary about the get ready for mediocrity, but when you only have one game to base things on, it's only natural. But I'll admit that may have been a mistake there because Carolina, this game, they let Vancouver get back into it, but they were the better team. And this game had playoff game vibes. There wasn't as much shoving as in a playoff game, but there was a lot of shoving, a lot of extracurriculars. I could tell these teams were getting under each other's skin, more so Vancouver trying to get under Carolina's skin. And while Carolina, they made some amazing passing plays. The overtime winning goal and the opening goal were some amazing passing plays. There were some scoring chances off some really good plays. Some standouts like Jackson Blake really stood out for having a good game tonight. I'm really liking Blake and Robinson. Next time Carolina loses a lot of depth, because this isn't the first time that happened, I can't sit here and think Carolina lacks depth because those two guys in some ways are playing like middle six forwards right now. And they got a point tonight. Not the first night they've done that. So yeah, just I can't question Carolina's depth and everything. Things did get if Carolina's penalty kill. This might be one of the best penalty kills I've seen in a while. Now the thing is with Carolina's penalty kill and even their power play to a lesser extent, though their power play wasn't that good tonight. Like it was fine. They didn't get a goal, but their power play was fine. Is Carolina's special teams can be good during the regular season. Then a team scouts their special teams, figured out what works against Rod Brind'Amour's system, and Carolina doesn't adjust and they lose a playoff series, or a playoff series goes a game or two further than it should have been against an inferior team. So I can sit here and I can compliment Carolina's penalty kill. Jarvis, in particular, had an amazing penalty kill moment. Jarvis, I think, had a good night. Since so he didn't get a goal, didn't get a point, but since I brought him up, Jarvis is hurricane of the game for me. I think he did everything but score a goal. That penalty kill play where he killed off the full 30 seconds by himself, unbelievable play. Generated scoring chances. There's a reason he was put on the defensive stall line at the very end, was effective there. Jarvis, for me, I don't think he was on the ice for any of the goals in the third period that tied the game, that gave Vancouver a point. So, but yeah, Jarvis, Hurricane of the game for me tonight. But what was I talking about before I brought up Jarvis? But so I can sit here, I can preach to the choir about how good Carolina's penalty kill is. We'll see how it is once the team they're going up against every game figures it out. I mean, that's just plain and simple asterisks next to the special teams compliments for me. But as of right now, penalty kill spectacular tonight. And yeah, I think where Carolina went wrong, and I think as the season rolls along, I think you want to keep Robinson and Blake. Carolina did let Vancouver get under their skin. They were trying to do that. Hronek ripped over off someone's helmet, and the game got really chippy and kind of started to become more about laying the hit first. Fun hockey for me to watch as a fan, even though I'm not drinking beer right now at home. I enjoyed watching it from a fan perspective, but just from a cheering for the Hurricanes perspective, There's a reason the ice started opening up when the game got to it. That's not the kind of hockey Carolina's effective at playing. Now, I think Carolina needs to get guys that when a team gets under their skin, they can push back and go to hit first, and it's not just creating scoring chances for the other team. But as of right now, Carolina doesn't have those guys, and unless they make a couple of roster changes to pick up some sandpaper guys, maybe some top six defensemen, or they do have Brendan Lemieux, but Brendan Lemieux's out injured. The only guy they have like that is Svechnikov, and there's a reason Svechnikov had that amazing defensive play to save the game. The reason we got not just the overtime winner, 2 points tonight. Vancouver almost won the game at the end there is because Svechnikov made an amazing play on Pedersen, and Svechnikov had a very good third period. I don't think he had like an amazing game to go over Jarvis for Hurricane of the game, but that's the kind of game Svechnikov thrives in. Carolina doesn't have a lot of players that thrive on a hit first, get under your skin, sandpaper type game. They don't, and they got sucked into it, and that's why Vancouver was able to open the ice and stretch the ice a little bit more and really take advantage of the fact that hockey's a 200-foot game. They didn't cover a guy in the slot the first time. Second time, Kochetkov. Kochetkov should have had the last two. I was going to give Kochetkov Hurricane of the game because I'm like, other than that first goal, Kochetkov had a good night. And then he kind of ruined it right after I thought that. Maybe I jinxed it. My fault there. But if you're a goaltender, as Steve Dangle would say, tend the goal. And Kochetkov didn't do that. I was getting ready to have your rage at Kochetkov because Carolina shouldn't have lost this game. No matter how many good saves you make, you give up 2 goals like that in the third. That game's, especially as a goalie, that game's kind of on you. But Kochetkov did make another good save after that. Carolina did. Now they got 3 goals in regulation. It's a good night for this roster. I still stand by. If Carolina gets 3 goals, they got to make sure they win the game. They did make sure they won the game. They made it look interesting, but they still average a goal a period. And when Carolina gets a goal a period for me, that means they really need to win that game because those are the games. Like I still don't see this roster as a super high scoring game. Maybe based on this road trip, I could end up being wrong. But as Carolina, they what was I saying? But yeah, it's Carolina. They got 3 goals again, won the game despite making it look interesting. Big win for Carolina. We'll see you guys Thursday, hopefully. I do work that day and everything on days I work. Sometimes I'm just not up for Hurricane review and everything, but we'll see how things go. Especially, I'll probably will because with the wrestling, the other thing that can take up my spare time is wrestling. But when WWE gets in Saudi mode, they play Boston 7. I should be there to beat for that and everything. But other than that, that's it for this one. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys Thursday.